ikiwa na asilimia kubwa ya jamii ya Wadigo, lakini wengi zaidi wakiwa ni wa Mijikenda, mbali na jamii zingine kutoka maeneo mbalimbali kufika mahali hapa. Kwa hivyo tunamtarajia kwamba labda mwendo wa saa 4 hivi atakuwa ni mwenye kufika mahali hapa ili kuweza kuongoza sherehe hizi za kitaifa rasmi ambazo zinafuatiliwa na kaunti zote 47, lakini zaidi kaunti 6 za kaunti za eneo hili la Pwani. Nazungumzia kaunti ya Tana River, kaunti ya Lamu, kaunti ya Kilifi, kaunti ya Mombasa, kaunti ya Taita Taveta na kaunti hii ya Kwale ambayo kwa leo ndio wenyeji wa sherehe hizi. Mtazamaji, itakuwa vyema zaidi kutaja kwamba sherehe hizi zina umuhimu mkubwa sana kwa kaunti hizi za Pwani, ikizingatiwa kwamba haswa katika upande huu wa kusini mwa Pwani ni mara ya kwanza kabisa tunasherekea na kushuhudia sherehe za kitaifa kuletwa mahali hapa tangu zianze kugatuliwa sherehe hizi za Mashujaa. Na Fatma Chani ambaye ni gavana wa pili wa kaunti hii baada ya kuchukua usukani huu kwa mtangulizi wake Salim Mvurya, ambaye alipata bahati ya kuteuliwa kwa waziri wa uchumi bahari ama uchumi majini, tena baadaye kupatiwa wadhifa mwingine wa waziri wa biashara na viwanda. Fatma Chani atakuwa ni mwenye kujipika kifua na kujisifia kwamba amekuwa gavana wa kwanza kuweza kuleta shughuli nzito kama hii katika kaunti yake. Na kumbuka kwamba mtazamaji, ni siku 3 tu zilizopita ambapo gavana Chani aliweza kuwa mwenyeji wa magavana wenzake 6, nazungumzia magavana 7 wa muungano wa magavana wa G7, na kufanya bonge la kongamano katika eneo hili katika hali ya kuamsha hamu, kuweka misingi na kuamsha mori wa wakazi wa Kwale kwamba shughuli ya Mashujaa inakuja hapa, na lengo lao kubwa zaidi likiwa ni kwamba wanatamani kwamba magavana hawa kufikia mwaka 2027 kwenye uchaguzi mkuu watatoka idadi ile ya 7 hadi kufikia angalau 24. Kumbuka kwamba ugatuzi kwanza huu ulikuwa na gavana 0 mwanamke, tena baadaye tukaja kupata watatu ambao ni mwenda zake Joyce Laboso Bomet, tukawa na Charity Ngilu Kitui na Anne Waiguru ambaye ni wa Kirinyaga, ambaye hadi sasa yupo hadi kuondoka kwake wiki 2 zilizopita kama mwenyekiti wa baraza la magavana. Kwa hivyo shauku ni kubwa, matarajio ni mengi kutoka kwa wakazi wa Kwale, na sisi tuko hapa kukupa picha kabisa na taswira kamili ya mambo yatakavyokuwa yanajiri. Manake tayari tumeshuhudia ngoma na mbwembwe ambazo zimeandaliwa na vikosi vyetu vya ulinzi. Nazungumzia majeshi ya angani, majeshi ya majini na vile vile majeshi ya nchi kavu, lakini pia vikosi vya polisi viko tayari ili kuweza kufanya mengi kabisa kuonyesha kwamba usalama upo, na zaidi kabisa kwamba burudani itakuwa ni yenye kufaa. Kama ujuavyo ni kwamba mwenda peke siku zote hujikwaa na mwenda peke huitwa mchawi. Siko peke yangu katika kaunti ya Kwale, kikosi cha NTV hutembea kwa ukubwa na misuli yake. Niko na wenzangu Zainab Ismail pamoja na Kevin Mtai katika pembe mbalimbali za uwanja huu ambao unapatikana katika eneo la Kinurini, na kupeleka sasa kwa mwenzangu Zainab Ismail akujuze upande ule uko na nini. Mimi naitwa Lofty Matambo, tuko pamoja hadi mwendo wa saa 9:10 ambapo tutamaliza sherehe hizi. Ismail, kutoka kwako.
All right, and here we are at the Kwale Stadium here in Mashujaa in Kwale County. All right, and of course, we are celebrating the 2024 Mashujaa Day celebrations. The 10,000 capacity stadium, this newly built stadium, was filled to capacity by 7 a.m. The gates were opened by around 5 a.m. and by 7 a.m. all the seats were filled by the locals and other Kenyans who came from other parts of the country. Dignitaries have already started arriving. I've seen a couple of cabinet secretaries have already arrived here, and of course we are awaiting for President William Ruto, who will be over this event to honor more than 140 individuals here as Shujaas in the country. And I am with residents of Kwale County, and of course would like to hear what their view is, what their expectations are on this Mashujaa Day celebrations, which by the way comes at such a interesting time in the political space in the country. Remember the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua as deputy president. Certainly very keen to hear if President William Ruto will be addressing that matter in his speech today. But mzee wangu, habari ya asubuhi.
Mzuri sio habari.
Hebu tueleze tu, jina lako ni nani, unatoka upande mgani na matarajio yako leo hii ni ipi?
Mimi kwa majina naitwa Mzova Nyanje, natoka katika kaunti hii ya Kwale, kutoka gatuzi dogo la Kinango, ward ya Ndavaya. Mimi expectations zangu, kwanza nimefurahi sana ya kwamba mtukufu rais mwenyewe ameamua tu kuja kusherekea pamoja na Wakenya wenzake katika gatuzi hili. Ni kitu ya kuifurahia, na mimi ninajua hiyo imenipa moyo zaidi ya kwamba rais wetu ni mpenda watu na yeye tuko pamoja naye. Sisi kama Kwale County tuko pamoja naye. Kuna vitu ambavyo tulikuwa tunatarajia kwa siku hii ya leo, na hakika kama kuna yule mkandarasi wa hii barabara kutoka Kinango kuja Kwale, na hakika kama yuko karibu, leo hii barabara yetu itakamilika. Hiyo ndio matarajio yangu, na hakika akishikana na Wakenya wenzake kama sisi hapa Kwale, basi hizi barabara zetu zitakuwa nzuri, zitakuwa ni all the weather roads, sio kwamba ni barabara ya kwamba zipitike tu mfumo mmoja, bali zitakuwa zinapitika all through the year. Ndio matarajio yetu makubwa.
Asante sana mzee wangu. If you can allow me to just move a little bit closer to some of the other residents. Like I said, this stadium is fully I mean, the capacity here is 10,000, but it's already full. By 7 a.m., all the seats were already taken. I had to find some space here on the stairwell. But mamangu, yako. Jina yako ni nini na matarajio yako leo siku ya Mashujaa ni ipi? Naam. Haya, wacha tumpate mama yetu mwingine hapa aweze kutueleza tu jina na matarajio yake.
Jina naitwa Halima Hassan kutoka Kwale County, wadi ya Kinango, Kinango sub county. Mimi matarajio yangu kwa siku hii ya leo ni kuona, kwa sababu nilikuwa nikifanya kuona tu hizi sherehe za Mashujaa ama Madaraka Day zikifanywa tu kwa televisheni nini. Lakini leo natarajia kujua kaunti nyingi na viongozi wake wengi, na nijua tatushuhudia nini.
Ni nini ambayo unatarajia kuweza kusikiza katika hotuba yake rais?
Mimi chenye natarajia, kwa sababu sasa uchumi umepanda, naomba hotuba yake atatutubia kuhusu punguzo kwa bei ya vyakula, na hasa kwa haya mambo yetu ya sisi tumezoea mambo ya basari. Tuomba pia tuangazie kuhusu watoto wanaoenda university, tutasaidika kivipi.
Haya, shukran sana. Let me move a little bit up so that I can give you an even better view of how this stadium is now full to capacity, as I try and get more residents of Kwale to speak to. Habari yako? Let's see if we can get mzee wetu mmoja hapa. Habari mzee wetu? Haya, hii ni NTV. Hebu tueleze tu jina na matarajio yako leo hii katika Mashujaa ni ipi?
Jina langu naitwa Ramadhani Hamisi. Kwa matarajio yangu ya siku ya leo, nimefurahi sana kuona Kwale yetu ina maendeleo, na Mungu atuzidishie mafanikio mazuri.
Aha, shukran sana. Hebu tusikize tu pia kina mama wanasema vipi hapa. Haya, tunaye mama yetu hapa. Habari? Uko salama? Mkaaji wa Kwale? Mkaaji wa Kwale?
Mkaaji wa Kwale.
Hebu tueleze tu matarajio yako ni ipi leo hii?
Matarajio yangu ni kuona Mashujaa njema inaendelea vizuri. Barikiwe.
Na shujaa wako ni nani leo?
Shujaa wangu ni Uhuru. Ni Ruto.
Nani?
Mwanangu ndio shujaa wangu.
Shukran sana. Haya, anasema shujaa wake ni mwana wake. Basi we'll continue to stay here and give you all the live updates of what is happening here today on the 14th Mashujaa Day celebrations at the Kwale Stadium in Mashujaa constituency here in Kwale. And of course, dignitaries have already started arriving. What we've seen is high security presence of security officials from different agencies here, from the military to the administration, police service, and of course President William Ruto, who is also expected to arrive here any moment at 9 a.m. So we will be giving you 360 that is on the ground here in Kwale, Lofty Matambo on the other end. But of course, Kevin Mutai as well, who is stationed right outside the stadium to give us a view of what is happening. If I can send it back to Kevin Mutai and Helen Aura in studio to also give us an aerial view of how the celebrations are happening.
Well, thanks, Zainab. We're right outside Kwale Stadium, and this is where all the VIPs will be making their way into the stadium, including President William Ruto and top other government officials. At the moment, what we've seen is that different heads of security agencies, including the director of DCI, that's the DCI director, Mohammed Amin, has already made his way. We've seen the Commissioner General of Prisons has also come in. The Inspector General of Police is also here and has arrived in the stadium. At the moment, what we're seeing just outside here is this a bit of activity. The law enforcement agencies who will be participating in the parade are currently making and preparing to just march into the stadium, and they're gathering on the other side of the gate. We have several gates that people are using to access the stadium. This is a newly built stadium, multi-billion shilling stadium that was purposely renovated and given a facelift specifically for this year's Mashujaa Day, happening for the first time in the county of Kwale. And as I said, out here they've positioned different security agencies to usher in the dignitaries. We've seen different members of the diplomatic corps accessing the stadium. Its security has been tightened, and as I said, only top government officials and recognized individuals have been given access into the stadium via this particular gate. Residents and other people have been allocated different entry points, and a few minutes ago we saw presidential choppers landing just not far from where we are right now, and we believe that President William Ruto is already within the area currently, perhaps maybe being briefed about the region and having a tete-a-tete with some of the government officials, and of course also the members of the county government of Kwale, led by Governor Fatuma Achani, who is the only elected governor under the UDA ticket in the Coast region. This region perhaps is one of the areas President William Ruto enjoys somehow some support, considering that the former governor, that is Salim Mvurya, who's currently sitting in cabinet, also was a member of the UDA party, and succeeded by Fatuma Achani, who is seen as one of the key political figures associated with President William Ruto in the Coast region. As my colleague Lofty Matambo earlier mentioned, is that this particular celebrations is coming just a few days after the conclusion of the G7 summit. This is where a conference that brought together all the female governors from the country, and this has indeed given a major boost to the county of Kwale. Remember this area, especially Kwale town, which hosts the county assembly of Kwale and the official headquarters of the county government, that is the offices of the top administration of the county government, the office of the governor, the office of the deputy governor, as well as I said, the county assembly. So it's been a sleeping town, but with all these activities that have been happening a couple of days ago, and now that culminated to this big day of the celebration, Mashujaa Day celebrations. Of course, we have seen a lot of people getting into town, and I can assure you that hotels have been fully booked all the way to Diani. Some people even had to travel back to Mombasa to find a place at least to put up for the night before coming back earlier this morning to be part of these celebrations. What I can see right now is that some whistles are being blown. I think they're getting ready to have the celebrations kick off. Earlier on, we expected that these particular celebrations would begin exactly at 9 o'clock. That was the time that we had been informed that everybody should have been seated by then before the head of state makes his way to officially kick off Mashujaa Day celebrations. Yesterday, during an interview with the Principal Secretary, State Department of Arts and Culture, that is Umi Bashir, she indicated that 142 Kenyans will be recognized and will be fitted with different commendations in an event that will be presided over by the head of state, that's President William Ruto. Bashir says that a rigorous vetting process was conducted to identify these particular individuals who will be honored today as the heroes. We're expecting to see different people from different backgrounds, from different parts of the country, who will be part of these days, the Heroes Day. Perhaps I'm not here alone. Outside here, with my colleague and our correspondent in Kwale County, that is Sese Siago. Perhaps Sese, you've been covering this region for quite some time now, and maybe just tell us, what exactly do you think after the G7 summit, Mashujaa Day special, what does it mean to the people of Kwale County?
I think this is going to be a very interesting day for the people of Kwale County because, one, they've been looking forward to this day for a long time, and two, it has brought a lot of changes in Kwale. Covering this county, there are very minimal tarmac roads, and where we are standing here, all these roads have been built because of this event today. And then we also have the stadium, which didn't exist, only had like two buildings, which was going on, and so we also have that. So I think it's a big blessing to Kwale residents because also with the visitors, Kwale is a sleepy town. It's known to end at 5 p.m. because most of the employees of the government are usually retreat to their homes. But now we see it's been very active. The streets are all lit. There's a lot of decorations, and I think it's going to be a blessing to so many people, the businessmen, the locals, who I spoke to earlier, and they said that they are doing well in terms of business. Even in transport, the flights, the hotels are all booked, and I'm so happy to see this, and I think it's going to be a big change, and our hope is that maybe this will be sustainable even after this day to just make Kwale vibrant.
And of course also we're seeing different colors. Being a region that really values tradition, we are seeing the elderly, people from different areas have come here, not only from Kwale County, but of course also from far-flung counties within the coast region. What does it mean in terms of harnessing the culture and the values of the traditions among the coastal people?
Kwale is a country that is a county that is very rich in its culture, and it's very wide, and with people from different traditions. We have the Digo, we have the Duruma, we have all the Mijikenda communities, and even the Kamba. So we've seen people from Kinango, they're here. They were on the road from as early as 4 a.m. People from Matuga, people from Sambweni. So it's a mix of religion and culture, and I think we have seen that in the stadium. Yes.
Most importantly, we're seeing that perhaps a lot of people know or rather identify Kwale commonly and rather mostly because of Diani. Diani is a tourist town, and what we've witnessed for a couple of days is that hotels have recorded full capacity. What does that mean in terms of the economic value and revenues in the county?
I think that is going to change very drastically, because people were expecting that this event was even going to be in Diani, because Diani is not only the place where it's going to be vibrant. And so this has opened up Kwale town, and I think for the people who are here and the people who are in Diani, they've really benefited economically, and it's going to just, open up the whole county to know that beyond Diani, there are also many other attractions that are here in terms of the Kaya Forest and in terms of the Shimba Hills National Park, and everything. I think generally it's a boost for the economy of the country.
So yesterday we had an opportunity to speak to some of the locals. I think I remember one of the statements, given by an elderly woman there. She said that she's never been here before. She got here for the first time yesterday, and she was not even willing to go back home because she was happy seeing the first lift of the stadium. For the first time, these celebrations being held in Kwale County. Perhaps what does that mean, especially to the common Mwananchi?
The common Mwananchi, I think, now feels to be part of Kenya. This being broadcasted all over the country means that they're being seen. They're having a feel of being Kenyans and just being out there, because Kwale has been known to be very remote, and the people mostly just live in the villages and with the few towns that are there. So I think this is going to be a very big transformation, even for the locals, and they're going to write this in their history. Yes.
Well, of course, also Sheikh Abu Qatada, I can see you are really set to get into the stadium. Perhaps this celebration must mean something to you as a resident from the Coast region. What exactly do you think where does this celebration put Kwale County in the terms of Kenya at large?
Kwa majina naitwa Sheikh Abu Qatada, ni religious leader Mombasa County. Tunashukuru kuwa na sherehe kama hii mwanzo kama nchi, kama taifa. Bila shaka inabidi tuwe ni wenye kukumbuka mashujaa wetu ambao kwamba walijitolea kwa hali na mali kwa ajili ya kuikomboa nchi yetu. Na tukifanya hivi tutakuwa tunapokezana historia generation baada ya generation, la sivyo itakuwa ni yenye kusaulika. Na pia kama watu wa sehemu hii ya ukanda wa pwani, tumefurahi sana sherehe kama hii kufanyika maeneo ya kwetu, hasa katika Kwale County. Katika historia haijatokea, na watu wanaichukulia ni zawadi kubwa ambayo kwamba wamepatiwa kutoka kwa serikali kuu. Na zaidi tunaomba tuweni mashujaa wa kuitetea nchi yetu, wa kuihami nchi yetu, tuwe ni wenye kujenga na tusiwe ni wenye kuharibu.
Naam, kwa hakika ni sheria ambazo umesema kwamba imefanyika katika kaunti hii ya Kwale na inaleta taswira ya kupendeza katika ukanda mzima wa pwani. Ni mashujaa ambao wataweza kutawazwa leo na kuweza kutambulika, na tunatarajia kwamba pengine baadhi yao ama wengi wao wakawa wakazi ama wenyeji wa ukanda huu wa pwani. Je, pengine kama wewe wadhani nani pengine ungempendekeza awe shujaa wako, na ni kwa nini?
Bila shaka ningempendekeza governor wa eneo hili Fatma Achani, kwa sababu ni mwanamke ambaye kwamba amejitolea, na ni mwanamke ambaye kwamba anajituma, na ni mwanamke ambaye kwamba tunaona namna anavowajibika. Ukiona vielea jua vimeundwa. Na bila shaka singemsahau shujaa wangu ambaye kwamba ni SG wetu wa chama Honorable Hassan Omar Hassan, kwa namna ambayo kwamba ameingia katika ofisi kama hiyo, na tunahisi taharuki iliyokuwa katika chama sasa hivi mambo ni shwari.
Sawa kabisa. Je, pengine la mwisho, pengine unatarajia kusikia nini hasa kutoka kwa Rais William Ruto, ikizingatiwa kwamba kuna utata kidogo katika ulingo wa siasa humu nchini? Je, pengine huenda hali ikakuwa vipi? Matarajio yako ni yapi?
Mwanzo kabisa tutarajia aelezee wananchi mikakati ambao kwamba yuko nao sasa hivi ya kimaisha, ya kikazi, vijana ambao kwamba wengi wako jobless. Hali ya maisha imekuwa itakuwa ni ngumu, ajaribu kutuzungumzia kwa lugha kama hiyo ili tuwe na matumaini na uongozi wake. Na kuhusu taharuki ambayo kwamba iko sasa hivi katika nchi yetu katika position za kisiasa, ni wevu inapita na mawimbi tu, si mwisho wa safari. Mchafuko wa bahari si mwisho wa safari. Maisha yataendelea. Kenya ni kubwa kumliko yeyote yule.
Kwa kawaida tumeweza kushuhudia kwamba naibu rais ndio anafaa kumwalika rais wa taifa katika hafla kama hizi za kitaifa, na kwa wakati huu tunaona kwamba kuna ile hali ya mshike kati ya rais na naibu wake ama makamu wake Rigathi Gachagua baada ya matokeo yaliyofanyika katika bunge la seneti na la kitaifa. Kwa sasa taifa linahisi kwamba hakuna makamu wa rais. Je, pengine unaona hali hii itaweza kutimia yale malengo ya Mashujaa, yale malengo ya sherehe kama hizi za kuleta pamoja viongozi na kuweza kujumuika pamoja na Wakenya?
Bila shaka uzuri wa Kenya wote wameshuhudia zoezi hilo namna lilivyofanyika na kila mmoja anaelewa. Kwa hivyo si jambo geni kwa watu wote ambao kwamba wamehudhuria katika uwanja wa Mashujaa siku ya leo. Ni jambo ambalo kwamba kila mmoja anafahamu na tunatarajia litamalizika kwa uzuri wiki ijayo.
Asante sana Sheikh. Na kutakia mema. I can see also that some people are still arriving here. Can see you coming from Mombasa. Just tell us exactly what brought you all the way from Mombasa to Kwale County, and why do you think it's so important for you to be part and parcel of these national celebrations happening for the first time in Kwale County? Your names, please.
Thank you. My name is Osumba Hesbonoyo. I've come all the way from Mombasa to Kwale due to this national celebration that has brought all the community from across the country together here in Kwale. We are here to celebrate our heroes, those who fought hardly for the independence of this country. And that is why we are here to celebrate with them, and as a country to show that we are still on the right course, the course that were championed by our heroes. Yes.
And if given a chance, who would you nominate as your hero or your Shujaa?
Thank you very much. First, okay, I will nominate myself as a hero. And second...
Why is that?
Because I'm the one who is championing for my life. And that is why I must nominate myself. I'm working very hard to ensure that nimeishi maisha ya kisasa. Kwa hivyo, I must congratulate myself first, then I can choose other people for that matter.
Perhaps, Hezbollah, this also will be a celebrations whereby we might not see the deputy president attending. What is your reflection on that?
I think the matter is in court, and we give the court the leeway to give the right way forward. But the parliaments, both the level of parliaments did what they did and did what is their constitutional mandate. Therefore, what remains is for the court to give us the verdict according to what is remaining. And we are patiently waiting. We can't comment on that. Let's give the court their jurisdiction to give us the judgment that is necessary for the country.
Thank you so much. Wishing you a good day. Asante. Happy Mashujaa. Well, of course, also, as I said earlier, there are several leaders who are making their way here, and with me also is a member of County Assembly in Kwale County. Perhaps introduce yourself and just tell us, as a county, how do you receive the fact that these celebrations have been brought to the county 002?
My name is Hanifa Badi Majirani, member of County Assembly from Ramisi Ward in Msambweni Sub-County, and the majority leader in the County Assembly of Kwale. We are very grateful. We really appreciate that this time round we are hosting the Mashujaa Day in Kwale County, and we welcome each and every member from the country to come and celebrate with us in Kwale County. Kwale County is a place where most of the members of the country will appreciate coming to Kwale. For this week, we've been having a lot of visitors, and we really appreciate that our revenue is going up. And with so many visitors, they are able to explore and appreciate how Kwale is. Yes.
Perhaps what are you expecting to hear from the head of state and those people who will have an opportunity, top officials from the government? What are you expecting to hear from them?
Probably is a message for Mashujaa Day, because as a county, we are all aware that today is Mashujaa Day, and we are expecting that the head of state, that is our president, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, will be passing the message of Mashujaa Day. Yes.
Any other thing apart in the political landscape?
No. Let me reserve for that. Yes.
Okay, well, thank you so much. Well, there are more people still coming in. I can see friends and residents of Mombasa. Welcome. We are live on NTV.
How are you, sir?
Thank you so much. Good morning.
Morning.
Perhaps just tell us, you're coming from Mombasa, right?
Yeah.
Why come to Kwale?
Well, many reasons. This is part of us. And I'm also here as a hero. Last year, national hero. So I've come to join my fellow heroes on this day. And also, this is why I went to school. So I'm homecoming.
When you mentioned that you're a hero, how does it feel to be recognized, having received that kind of state commendation?
Well, it's something good, but I can see that there's something coming up more, because nowadays it's just the recognition. But going forward, I think the heroes will be taken care of so that they can live in a very dignified way. So it's a privilege to be a hero. I'm a hero in the area of environment. I do a lot of environmental conservation through my group, which is Clean Mombasa CBO. We do a lot of work. Planting, tree planting, mangrove planting, and so on. So I think it's, the issue of being a hero is just is to stimulate others to excellence, so that each one of us can be excellent in whatever we are doing. Yeah.
And if you're given a chance, who would you nominate to be recognized as a hero?
What do you mean?
Who would you nominate to be coveted, or rather fitted with a commendation, being a hero, or rather being a Shujaa? Who would you say would be a Shujaa?
Yeah, a Shujaa is someone who is who does things without press, without aim of any advantage, and he allows himself to serve the community and sacrifice. So if you fall into that group, at whatever level, because you can be young, you can be old, you can be a professional, you can be an ordinary person. So as we participate in nation building, then one can come to a point where he is a hero.
But in your view, just to mention a few, probably from the coast region, who do you think qualifies to be a hero, and for what reasons?
Oh, there are many heroes. By the way, the heroes also, they are various categories. So there are those that are into culture. There are those that are into environment, like myself. And there are the political heroes. There are also the posthumous, the people who did a lot, people like Mekatilili, somebody like Ronald Ngala, somebody like Mwinga Chokwe, and all those people that played a role in developing this country. So I think, and the footballers, sports, in football, in running, whatever, in academia also, people like Professor Mazurui, the trailblazers who did a lot in terms of academia. So all these people, they can be and should be recognized. But you see, for one to be a hero, he has to be proposed by a certain group. And what happens is that many people don't know how to become a hero. So this is an opportunity, because nowadays it's advertised. And then either a group of scholars or whatever, they can nominate you with the reasons. Yeah. And Heroes now is open to everybody, even very young children who have done tremendous work in whichever way. They can be heroes.
This year, 142 Kenyans will be feted. And yesterday we heard from the State Department of Arts and Culture, the PS said that they went through a rigorous vetting process. And you're a hero. You've been recognized before, said last year. Take us through that process. What does it entail?
Well, for example, in my case, I work within a group which is called Clean Mombasa, CBO. we do a lot of environmental work. We have done a lot of mangrove, climate change and all that. So what happens when it is advertised, then your group can nominate you, giving reasons and giving facts of what you have been doing and sending it to the National Heroes Council. From there, they're able to shortlist and actually give you the position. So basically, as I said, there's a lot of ignorance. People don't know. But also, one of the things that has been hindering people coming out is because they have not been seeing the impact of being a hero. So going forward, I think due now to the new way forward, because of the plan which has been done, people will see the use of being a hero because you'll be able to have special privileges, special access, and have a dignified life.
Do you have that?
Well, I'm a professional in myself, but in terms of the heroes, it is still to come. It is to come.
So has it changed your life in any way?
Well, what I'm saying, as a person, it does. Like nationally, the way it's supposed to be, like it happens in Europe. In Europe or America, once you're a national hero, you are a special property of the state, whereby they take care of your health, your future, your business, your everything, and access to services in every area of the government. I think that's where we are going. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Happy Mashujaa Day. People, as said, they're still coming in. I can see there's a lady here. What can you tell us about, this Mashujaa Day, and perhaps begin with your names and why you're here, where you're coming from?
Okay. Thank you so much. My name is Jedida Ndanu. I'm from Mombasa. Yeah.
Ndanu, why are you here?
I came to see, this Mashujaa in Kiswahili ni siku ya mashujaa waliojitolea kwa uhuru wetu. So mimi kama youth lazima nikuje huku tufurahie kwa maana tulipata uhuru. Sasa tuko sawa, pia nione viongozi watoe maoni na tufurahie na kujumuika tu kwa kukuwa na viongozi wetu ambao tuliwachagua wenyewe.
Umetaja kwamba wewe ni kijana. Na tumeona kwamba vijana katika taifa hili la Kenya wamekuwa na msukumo mkubwa sana kuweza kushinikiza serikali kuangazia maslahi yao, kujali matakwa yao. Pengine kama kijana, matarajio yako ni yapi hasa kusikia ama kutoka kwa wakuu serikalini, pengine Rais William Ruto mwenyewe?
Asante sana. Kwanza sisi kama vijana unapata tumesoma, tumehitimu, lakini hakuna kazi. Tunajikuta wengine wanajihusisha na talanta kama mimi, ama model, ama actress, na koza ambayo nilifanyia sifanyii kazi, lakini najikuta naingia kwa talanta, ndio inanilisha, inanivisha na biashara ndogo ndogo za hapa na pale, ambapo ningekuwa sahihi niko na kazi na si wengi. Unajua sio wote hatuwezi toshea kwa kukua actress, na pengine unajipata vijana wanakuwa na msukumo kwa sababu kuko idol, wanajipata ile pressure nyingi nini. Sasa hiyo kukosa kazi mwanzo, hiyo ndio kitu kubwa ambayo inachangia vijana kukua mabarabarani, kuingia kwa maandamano na rusha za hapa na pale kwa sababu hawana kitu cha kufanya. Yeah.
Nani shujaa wako?
Shujaa wangu siku ya leo ni gavana wangu wa Mombasa, Abdul Swamad Sharif Nasir. Huyo ni shujaa wangu kwa sababu mimi Abdul Swamad nimemwona tangia ni kwa mdogo. Alipokuwa MP wa Mvita, ni mtu ambaye at least naweza muelezea kiundani amefanya, kwa maana sijaanza kumuona leo. Na kuwa yeye ndo amekuwa kiongozi wangu mpaka leo, ni gavana wangu. Kwa hivyo naweza jivunia na kumuita shujaa wangu. Yeah.
Sawa, na kutakia heri na shujaa yenye baraka. Asante. Welcome sir, you're live on NTV. I can see your outfit really recognizes, it has some meaning, being a Heroes Day. What does it mean exactly? Why are you dressed like this?
It's close to, our culture, the African culture. Yeah, a bit of Western, but more so it's an African culture.
Okay, what does this day mean to you as a person?
It's a special,
as a Kenyan.
It's a special day that we are celebrating our heroes. So this is a very special day. and even where it's being held, it's it's historic, it's special. Yeah.
When did you arrive here, and how have you been? How did you get to access the place? Have you been here before? Because I understand that the people who've had difficulties and challenges accessing this place. How was it for you?
The stadium, yes, a bit difficult accessing, but generally I've been, my work involves working with counties, so it wasn't hard for me to get here, but I came yesterday, yes. Yeah.
What does it mean exactly for Kwale County?
I think this is so special. This is so special for them, and you see, they are showcasing what they have done during this period of devolution, and we are really proud of them. Yeah.
Revolution, we are seeing that Kwale will be one of the coastal counties that I think will change drastically, and because of such kind of events being held here, because we've had people expecting good things, big things from the national government. Do you think it's an opportunity for the national government to address these challenges affecting the people from this region?
Yes, it's an opportunity for the national government to address the challenges that are here, but more so you can also see what the county has done. With the devolution, it has given the county the power to do what they have done. If were it not for devolution, probably we will not be having such a kind of a state stadium. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Happy Mashujaa Day. Mom, just please come closely. Just introduce yourself and just tell us exactly you've come here for these celebrations. As a person, what does it mean to you?
Okay, my name is Lynette Mavu from Intergovernmental Relations Technical Committee. I have come to celebrate Mashujaa Day in Kwale County, and I'm so very happy.
Where are you coming from?
I come from Taita, but I work in Nairobi in the Intergovernmental Relations Technical Committee, which is the secretariat to the summit. Yes.
So what does Mashujaa Day mean for you as a person?
For me as a person, it's an opportunity to celebrate our heroes. Celebrate the heroes who fought for this independence, and more so celebrate those who fought for the new constitution, which has given us devolution. And that's why we are here in Kwale County today celebrating Mashujaa. Yeah, so I'm very proud. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Have a happy Mashujaa Day.
Happy Mashujaa.
Asante. As it now at the moment, things are a little bit calm, and I believe that those who are supposed to be making their way here, this is the VVIP entrance, and I believe that they're currently being held up somewhere with the president just before they make their way here. But at the moment, I'm being informed that we have our colleagues from different parts of the country, and right now we are heading to Nakuru, where we have Ruth Sarmwe on standby. Ruth, just bring us up to speed on how residents there have, how is the turn up, and how are they ready, how are they prepared for this Mashujaa Day, and perhaps just mention to us if we have heroes who will be feted here in Kwale County. Ruth.
Naungana nawe katika soko la Top Market, soko mojawapo ambao inalisha wakazi wa hapa Nakuru, na tutaungana tu na baadhi ya watu ambao tunawashabikia katika kulisha wa Kenya, na wanasimama kati ya mkulima na sahani yako wewe Mkenya. Tutaanza tu na mama huyu ambaye anatuuzia matunda aina tofauti katika soko hili la Nakuru. Utaanza kwa jina lako, tueleze uko na sababu hii leo ya kusherehekea tunaposherehekea ama tunapoadhimisha Mashujaa.
Majina yangu naitwa Alice Kemodo. Niko katika Top Market. Na hii siku ya Mashujaa, venye naweza sema hakuna kitu ya kusherehekea. Biashara imekuwa chini, pesa hakuna. Mtu mwenye tunauzia matunda hana pesa, matunda tuko nayo lakini watu wa kununua hakuna.
Ukidhani ni nini ambayo imechangia hali ya gharama ya maisha kuwa juu?
Economy iko juu sana. Vitu zikiingia zinaingia na bei ya juu, pesa hakuna kwa customers wetu. Yeah.
Lakini hivi majuzi tumeona ya kwamba bei ya mafuta ambayo ni jambo mojawapo ambao huchangia katika kupanda na kushuka kwa gharama ya maisha ilipungua kwa shilingi 8. Sijui kama imeweza kuathiri bei yako ya bidhaa na kuvutia wateja zaidi.
Hakuna kitu imebadilika. Hata kama mafuta imeshuka, hakuna change yenye tumeona. Yes.
Lakini kando na gharama ya maisha, nina uhakika uko na sababu moja tu ya kufurahia siku ya leo. Unaweza tueleza ni sababu ipi hiyo?
Mimi nafurahia tu kuwa uhai. Sina kitu kingine.
Matarajio yako katika maadhimisho ya hii leo ambapo rais atatuhutubia kama taifa itakuwa ni yapi?
Mimi ningeuliza tu watu waangalilie pande ya venye maisha inaweza shuka. Kama ni hiyo mafuta ishuke na wenye wanatuletea bidhaa waitike tu kutushukishia maisha.
Na mwacha tusikize maoni ya mwingine ambaye huhakikisha kwamba bidhaa ambazo zinatoka kule shambani inafika kwa huyu mama na wanasaidia katika kubeba hizo mizigo. Utaanza kwa majina na utueleze hii leo uko na sababu ya kufurahia siku ya leo?
Nafurahia sana sababu ya mambo yote, mambo inaendelea katika nchi yetu. Sio mbaya, ni mzuri sana, tunashukuru Mwenyezi Mungu sana. Sababu ya uwezo wote, sababu chochote tunafanyika, tunasema ni asante. Kwa uchumi inaendelea sio mbaya na tunashukuru sababu tunafanya kazi yetu ya kubebea watu mizigo na kufanya kazi nyingine mzuri. Sababu hatuna makosa, lakini sasa tunaomba kwa nchi yetu Kenya wakuwe na kitu moja, wanasaidiana. Si kuacha uwezo kwa peke yako sababu Mungu ndo anatenda. Na sisi tuliwachagua na tunasema ni asante. Kwa hiyo leo tutakuwa na sherehe safi tunaipenda. Tunaambia Mungu ni asante katika jina la Yesu Kristo na mambo iendelee.
Hii leo unatarajia nini katika hotuba ya rais atakapokuwa anazungumzia wa Kenya kule Kwale?
Tunajua pia atatenda maajabu mazuri sababu mwenye atamkaribisha ni mtu mwenye atamfaa. Ni Mungu ndo anajua kabisa katika njia zake zote. Na tunafurahia mambo itakuwa mzuri na ataongea mazuri. Na tunasema ni asante.
Na asante sana. Wacha pia tusikize maoni ya mwingine. Utakuja hapa kwa sababu ya mwangaza. Utaanza kwa majina, utatoa kofia. Maoni yako ni yapi kuhusiana na ama uko na sababu leo ya kusherehekea?
Kwa majina yangu mimi naitwa Calvin Sotieno. Mimi kwangu siku ya leo siwezi sema mingi, lakini Kenya kwa saizi mali tuko saizi tuko na changamoto mingi sana. Vijana wana kazi, lakini kuongozi yenye wamelead Kenya haangalii pande ya vijana. Biashara kwa saizi iko chini, hakuna pesa. Hizo mimi kwangu vile naweza sema president yetu mahali atakuwa leo kuongea kwa Mashujaa celebration, angalie pande yetu vijana na hata vile Wakenya tunaweza kuwa pamoja. Hiyo tu ndio naweza sema.
Sawa sawa, shukran sana. Naam, hayo yamekuwa tu ni maoni ya baadhi ya wakazi wanaohudumu katika soko hili la Top Market hapa Nakuru, wengi wao wakisema kwamba gharama ya maisha inawasababisha kutoshabikia siku ya leo licha ya changamoto tu kuwa mengi. Wacha tusikize maoni ya mwingine kwa ufupi tu. Utasimama hapa, majina yako ni yapi na kama leo unatarajia nini katika sherehe ama maadhimisho ya Mashujaa kule Kwale?
Kwa majina naitwa John. Ningependa kwamba rais asiangalie upande wa vijana kwa sababu sisi vijana hatuna kazi. Sisi tunafanya kazi ya beba ambapo sisi kama mimi niko na watoto 6 nahitaji kazi. Sisi tuangalie upande yetu vijana. Tunampenda rais wetu na sisi hatuna kazi. Hiyo ndio kwa napenda kusema.
Naam, hayo tu yamekuwa ni maoni jinsi nilivyokueleza ya kwamba Wakenya wengi wanatarajia kwamba rais atatoa mwelekeo ama ataweza kutoa ajira zaidi kwa vijana na pia wanatarajia kwamba gharama ya maisha itaweza kushuka ili waweze kukabiliana na hali ya maisha. Hayo tu ni maoni kutoka wakazi wa Nakuru wanaohudumu katika soko hili la Top Market jijini Nakuru. Kwako studio.
Thank you so much, Ruth Chesenge from Nakuru, Kevin Mutai, Zainab Ismail and Lofty Matambo from Kwale County. Just a bit of a background about this particular Mashujaa Day. Before Mashujaa Day became known as Mashujaa Day, it was known as Kenyatta Day up until the promulgation in August 2010, 27th of August when it was changed, and they saw it fit under our constitution to change the day to be Mashujaa Day. But this is because the argument was it was not only one person who deserved to be celebrated, that was our founding president, considering the Kapenguria 6 who are involved in the freedom fighting of our country. Just to name them, we have Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, Paul Ngei, Ochieng Oneko, Kungu Karumba, Bildad Kagia, and Fred Kubai. And yet it was only our founding president, President Jomo Kenyatta, who was celebrated as per the day. But now moving forward, as per 2010, Kenyatta Day now was changed to be Mashujaa Day, and that's where we have Mashujaa Day up until today. And in studio, I have my panel of Gen Zs who I'm actually going to inquire from them. But before I actually come to you, let me just give you a brief of what we're expecting today in our program in Kwale County. As per 9 a.m., all guests and Wananchi ought to be seated in Kwale Stadium in Matuga. And at 9:50 a.m., we have arrival of service commanders. From 9:50 to around 10:20, we have the arrival of service commanders, arrival of dignitaries, arrival of various cabinet secretaries who are expected, governors as well, speakers of the National Assembly and Speaker of the Senate will also be arriving at that time. At 10:35 thereabout, we'll have the Guard of Honor marching into position. At around 10:55, we'll have the state motorcade, and where President William Ruto as well is, and the First Lady, Her Excellency Rachel Ruto, are supposed to also arrive. And the President will also be escorted to the ceremony by the vehicle of the Chief of Defense Forces, and the First Lady is also set to be escorted to the presidential dais. The President, he will, as per usual, he will greet Wananchi once he arrives and does the Guard of Honor as well. And thereabout now we'll have the national anthem, then the East African national anthem as well, the East African community anthem, I beg your pardon. And then thereabout, the President now will inspect the Guard of Honor. And then the President will proceed to the presidential dais as well. Then thereabout, we'll have entertainment. After entertainment, we'll have now the march of past the contingents. We'll have the Kenya Defense Forces, the National Police, the Kenya Coast Guard, just to name a few. And thereafter, we'll have prayers and entertainment. And then the Governor of Kwale will make some brief remarks, considering this event is being marked in Kwale County. And thereafter, President William Ruto will take up the podium and address the nation. And after that, the national anthem again. And then thereabout now, the state motorcade leaves Kwale County and the stadium, and for the state garden party. And those who have attended that particular ceremony, Mashujaa Day in Kwale County, are also now free to leave at their own peril. Now, coming to my guests in studio, we have Nikki Kariuki, and let me take it back to Kwale County, where Kevin Mutai is on standby with the governors. I can see Mombasa Governor Abdul Swamad. We also see the Kwale governors as Kevin Mutai, can you hear us on the ground as well? Kevin, kindly, could you just...
Well, as I said earlier, there are more and more dignitaries arriving for the Mashujaa Day celebrations. And right here with me, we have 4 governors from the county, from the coastal counties, Abdul Samad Sharif Nasir from the county of Mombasa, Dadu Godana, Governor Tana River, Issa Timami from Lamu County, and Gideon Mungaro from Kilifi County. They just came in, and perhaps let's just get to give them an opportunity to just tell us why they're here and what does it mean for such kind of celebrations to be brought in the coast region. Starting with you, Your Excellency, Mombasa Governor Abdul Samad Sharif Nasir, what does this Mashujaa Day mean for the coastal people?
The fact that the national celebrations celebrated in each and every county with a rotation basis, this is important as a region for us to be able to get together and show our patriotism together, united. As we are expecting other regions as well to follow suit in the next public celebrations.
What would it mean exactly for the region, the entire coast region?
Definitely, Kwale has had a huge boost in terms of local tourism. I am aware that the local leadership will be meeting with His Excellency the President to discuss on their matters, at least in terms of the Kwale County. And us as governors wish to just be able to be part and parcel. I mean, this is nothing else except a level of showing unity of purpose, and we're celebrating. It's a National Day celebration.
Well, and Shujaa wako nani?
My late father.
Thank you so much. Happy Mashujaa Day. Let's cross over to Governor from Tana River County. Your Excellency, perhaps tell us, what are the people of Tana River saying, and seeing you here in Kwale County, what would that mean, especially for your people and the region?
General, my people are happy that though I'm here, but the fact that this national celebration is being done in the region and in Kwale County, and that's why all us as governors decided to come here and join the President in these celebrations. But most importantly is the fact that we are seeing more focus of the President this time than ever before. The coming of the President to Kwale and to this region means that the coast region has good focus of national government. But not just about this celebration, but there's a good spread of development programs across the region, from Lamu to Tana River, to Kilifi, to Taita Taveta, Kwale, and Lamu. And the fact that there's that focus, we feel that we are now part and parcel of the country. It's not like before when we used to complain so much about the coast region being left behind. But it's not enough. We still want the national government to put more focus and implement most of the projects and programs they have for this region. Us as JKP governors have our part to play, but there are those projects and programs that purely rest in the hands of the national government.
Before I let you go, I believe you're expecting to hear a lot from President William Ruto. What are some of these key issues that you're expecting perhaps the President to touch on?
I'm expecting the President to touch on one, the Tana River Bridge, the rehabilitation or the reconstruction of the Tana River Bridge at Madogo and Mororo. And the whole of that project from Madogo Junction through Madogo itself to Mororo to Garissa, because I know that the plans are underway. They're almost complete for that project to start. I'm also expecting the President to be talking about the Itsoe Causeway, the route to Lamu at Gamba, Tarda, where it was cut off as a project that links the counties. I'm expecting also the President to talk about the KIPES and the progress we've made and the monies that are pending for national government to bring so that we finish up the projects. I'm also expecting the President, to talk about the other projects, the road from Kitui through Waldena to Wayu and Hola, all the way to Lamu, and the connecting bridges in the hinterland, which we have agreed. I have a lot of expectations. But more so, I'm expecting the President to also talk about the expansion of the Kilifi. I know Governor Mungaro will talk about it, the Malindi Airport, the expansion or the construction of the Daba airstrip, the expansion of Taita Taveta airstrip, as part of the infrastructure projects that will open up the region for economic growth.
Thank you so much. That was Tana River Governor Dado Godana. Let's move in, crossover to Kilifi County, and we have here Governor Gideon Mungaro. I believe, Your Excellency, as the leaders from the region will have an opportunity to probably sit with the head of state, and I believe you have some of the issues that you'd want, the government, the national government, address to benefit your people in Kilifi County. What are some of these things that perhaps you might need to bring to the attention of the President?
I think the potential of generally costs, Kilifi included, is infrastructure development. My colleague have already mentioned the issue of expansion of Malindi Airport, but most importantly for the region is land. Yeah? The land issue in Coast is a big issue, and we must address it. And this is across board, not only Kilifi. We have Kilifi, and probably other places are not notorious like Kilifi. But in Kilifi, generally, majority of the people, wherever they are living, always they are told, oh, this is private land, people have title for 100 years, I don't know what. So I know the president have talked to us as leaders before on how to address this issue, but it must be fast-track this issue. I know he said it will be addressed by us and the leaders at national government. He formed a smaller committee with Joho, Kingi, and Mvuria. But we need to fast-track this. Money should be set aside, sort out the squatter problem in this region. Yeah? The other issue, which we know they had started, and my brother here, Timami, was the chairman before, is the blue economy. Yeah? The blue economy is a big thing now, which the government should really invest more so that we can create employment. We just came from Italy, all governors of Coast in July, yeah? And we have seen in a small place like Takaungu in Kilifi, the amount of fish and the progress of blue economy happening there. So these are part of the potential issues which should need to be addressed so that we can be able to create employment for our people. We have our role as governors which we can play, but there is a bigger role of the national government. There are still many things which are not devolved yet, which are supposed to be at the county level, on agriculture, on health, and all these things which when you devolve, you help the counties to grow.
Perhaps maybe are we expecting any heroes from the county of Kilifi?
Yes, I'm sure there are some here. You know, as we had the first one, Mekatilili Wamenza. Yeah, so we have some. I don't know if they have identified. You know, they have a team which normally identify the people to be. Yeah. So, but I'm sure there are some around. Yeah.
Okay, happy Mashujaa Day, Excellency. Lastly, let's get to Lamu County, Governor from Lamu County, Issa Timami. Your Excellency, just perhaps from Lamu County to Kwale County for these national celebrations. For the people of Lamu, what does it mean?
First, we want to commend the President for holding this Mashujaa Day here in Kwale, and for the Coast people. We feel that there is inclusivity now. And for Lamu people, I'm here, I'm actually representing them. Since the head of state is here, we as Coast governors felt that it was appropriate that we join our sister, the governor of Kwale, so that as a show of unity of the coastal leadership. But there are a lot of issues that are there. One, as counties, we want the head of state to intervene with the release of the equitable share, what we get from the national government. The timely release helps us to run our county smoothly. But of late, there has been quite a bit of delay. So it's our request to the head of state that he should intervene and ensure that Treasury releases the funds to counties in a timely manner. Secondly, we want to take this opportunity to talk to the President about infrastructure issues. Lamu, we border Tana River. There is a road to Kipini, not a very long road. We want to make sure that that road is tarmacked. We have Lamu Port. It's a big infrastructure project, but until now, it's not been used to the maximum. And the road connecting Lamu to Tana River onwards to Kilifi, it's been washed away near Gamba. We need it to be fixed as soon as possible because that's the road which also serves the port. But otherwise, we are happy to be here to join the head.
So, Your Excellency, let me get your voice on the fact that we might not be able to see the Deputy President in these national celebrations welcoming or rather inviting the head of state to speak to Kenyans. What does that, or rather what would that mean considering the issues that are currently happening in the political landscape in Kenya?
You know, I'm a lawyer, and this matter is pending in court.
Okay.
It's sub judice and I wouldn't like to comment.
Okay. Happy Mashujaa Day. There are quite a lot of leaders who are still arriving, and right now let me hand you over back to Lofty Matambo, who is inside the stadium to also speak to some of the residents attending Mashujaa Day celebrations at Kwale County. Lofty, kazi kwako kaka.
Nama, asante sana mwenzangu Kevin Mutai kwa mahojiano hayo. Baadhi tu ya magavana ambao anazungumza nao, mmoja wawili kati ya wale 6 wa kaunti 6 za Pwani ambao wanatarajiwa kuwa mahali hapa siku ya leo kumpa shavu, kumpa mkono mwenzao Fatma Achani. Nazungumzia gavana Abdulswamad Sharif Nasir wa Mombasa ambaye ni kilomita 25 kutoka hapa, ni jirani tu hapa. Atakuwa pia ni mwenye kufika na tutamshuhudia kuja hapa kusherekea sherehe hizi za 14 za Mashujaa, lakini 60 tangu kuanza kusherekewa zikiitwa Kenya Day. Isa Timami kutoka Lamu pia kisiwani tunamtarajia mahali hapa. Dado Godana kutoka Tana River pia kufika mahali hapa, na vile vile Gideon Maitha Mungaro wa Kilifi kuweza kuja hapa na kumpa mwenzao nguvu kwamba tuko hapa jameni. Na niko na mwenzangu Zainab ambaye tangu awali umekuwa ukizungumza na wananchi wakitoa maoni mbalimbali. Kufikia sasa unaona mandhari na hali, taswira iko vipi, ambapo ni saa 1 kutoka sasa labda tutakuwa tunamuona na kumshuhudia Rais William Ruto kufika katika uwanja huu wa Kwale.
Alright, shukran sana Lofty Matambo. Indeed, the excitement is palpable. We can talk to and we can suddenly feel the air of excitement, all around the stadium. The residents very happy. When we were coming to Kwale, we did not expect to see some of the infrastructural developments we've seen. I mean, we've seen the expansion and upgrade of roads, and once this sleepy Kwale town was quite vibrant. We've seen a buzz of activity in this town, and of course even the environs and the other towns that are surrounding Kwale town, not just in this constituency. But away from what the residents had to say, there's a reason why we're here, Lofty. We are here to listen and to see 142 individuals being conferred and being honored for their, their actions in the community, in the society, and some of the things that they're doing for them to be able to be conferred with this honor. We have some of them here. Who do we have that you are going to speak to, Lofty?
Kwa kweli Zainab, umesema ukweli, maana kuna siasa nyingi sana na watu wakipiga darubini hata siasa za Kwale labda watasema pene hizo ndo zitapigwa, maana kwa mara ya kwanza Salim Mvurya aliposema kwamba mimi nitakuwa wa UDA, nitakuwa na Rais William Ruto, wengi walisema amepoteza dira na ramani, lakini akafuata nyayo aliyechukua nafasi hiyo mrithi wake Fatma Achani na mambo mengi kabisa. Lakini kama ulivyosema, mbali na siasa, mbali na kuangalia nchi iko namna gani, nani atamkaribisha Rais William Ruto pale jukwani, ni naibu rais yupi, manake watu wanajua nchi ilipo. Kuna Rigathi Gachagua ambaye hatma yake iko mahakamani, lakini pia kuna Profesa Kithure Kindiki ambaye alipitishwa na bunge la taifa. Wakenya wanajiuliza itakuwa namna gani? Je, mashujaa wako ndio hao wewe Mkenya ambao wanapiga siasa kutafuta uongozi na kadhalika, ama shujaa wako ni Zainabu Ismail ambaye anaacha shughuli zake Nairobi kuja katika kaunti ya Kwale kukujuza mengi?
Lakini Lofty, ndio ile tukairudisha pale, nilikosea jana lakini tukajikuta katika hali ya kivangaito. Yani dilemma katika legal
kivangaito cha kisiasa, kivangaito cha kikatiba na kadhalika. Tuachane na kivangaito, tuangalie mashujaa, na niko naye mmoja ambaye nitamkaribisha. Labda nianze nawe. Huyu bwana nimekuwa nikimuona Zainab si mara moja mara mbili akipanda miti na kadhalika, na tumemtoa kwenye lile jukwaa la wale mashujaa 142. Atatujuza jina lake kwa ukamilifu, alafu baadaye atuambie labda anatarajia nini. Karibu sana kwenye NTV. Jina lako, na unaona leo ndo leo ama leo yako ni kesho ama ilikuwa jana?
Asante sana Lofty. Kwa majina naitwa Che Mbadha, lakini wengi wananifahamu kama Captain Green. Mimi ni mwana mazingira. Inazingatiwa nimekuwa kipaumbele kuyatunza mazingira yetu, ikiwepo kukamp kwa wetland kwa wiki moja, nikapanda miti 15,000. Kuna wakati mwingine pia kunasemekana deforestation inaisha by 2030. Nikapinga hilo jambo, alafu nikaenda kwa parliament pale nje nikajifungia kwa mti. Vile vile nimekuwa niki-invent, natumia mbinu ya diaper za watoto, kuhamasisha watu vile wanaweza zitumia kupanda miti for water retention. Kwa hivyo nimefanya mambo mingi Lofty, na nafurahi sana leo kwa sababu sikutumai kama hii itakuja kufanyika. Nimepata tuzo mingi mpaka ya UN, lakini hii ndio kubwa zaidi, manake unafanywa shujaa wa taifa lako.
Lakini Captain Green, unasema kwamba umepata tuzo nyingi, hii ni kubwa na hujatangazwa. Umejuaje ama mchakato ulikuwa namna gani mpaka ukajipata hapa?
Wajua sasa hapa lazima
geuka kidogo tu hivi ili kamera ikuone vizuri.
Asante. Lazima kwanza uteue watu wa kuteue. Kuna wale DCC wa kaunti yangu ya Kibwezi aliona kazi yangu nzuri akafanya uteuzi. Kulikuwa pia naye yule director wa NEMA pia akanifanyia uteuzi. Kulikuwa na County Ecosystem Conservator Bwana Mutie pia akanifanyia uteuzi. Kuna wale wako pale kwa Treasury wanajiita FLOCA, Financing Local Led Climate Action, Bwana Barsosio pia akanifanyia uteuzi, lakini ilikuwa pia niambatanishe na zile kazi nimefanya. Kwa hivyo nilifanya lot of printouts zenye niliwapea ndo waweze kusubmit na kazi yangu iweze kuonekana na ile National Heroes Council waweze kupitia na kusema kweli kama mimi ni shujaa ama mimi sio shujaa.
Nakumbuka mwaka juzi wakati wa COP27 nilikushuhudia pale katika majengo ya bunge ukiwa umejifunga, na ilikuwa hofu yako, unasema kwamba Nairobi inaisha, wakati ambapo barabara ya mpito wa kasi ukipenda expressway ilikuwa inajengwa, na ukawa unauliza maswali, ni kwa nini Nairobi inageuzwa inakuwa ni jiji la kangareti ukipenda, wazungu wakaita concrete. Je, baada ya kelele zako zote hizo unaona mambo yamebadilika ama mambo ni yale yale kama mchanga wa Kwale?
Naweza sema kidogo mambo yamebadilika.
Geuka ili kamera ikupate.
Kidogo naweza sema mambo yamebadilika kwa sababu ukiangalia rais tunaye sahi anazingatia sana mambo ya upanzi wa miti. Anasema anataka tufikishe zile bilioni 15. Kweli ile jambo ilinikwaza huo wakati, kwa maana barabara ilitaka kutengezwa mali kulikuwa na miti mingi sana na ikakatwa sana, ndo ikanifanyia mimi mwenyewe niweze kwenda kujifungia kwa mti, ndo nihamasishe umma pamoja na serikali kuwa miti hatuna Kenya. Forest cover yetu sasa ni around 7%, na tukiendelea kukata kidogo ile yenye iko hatutaweza kufikia mahali.
Anajulikana kama Captain Green, anasema kwamba anaumwa sana kwamba utandu wetu wa miti ni 7%, tutafika lini 10%? Hii miti labda ndio inahitajika kujenga nyumba, ili kauli mbiu ya mwaka huu ya Mashujaa ya nyumba yako boma langu mimi Mkenya, ndivyo alivyosema. Je, una nyumba? Je, una cha kujengea? Ni miti. Huu ni shujaa wa miti. Una shujaa gani Zainab upande wako?
Lofty, kweli na tusiwe tukawa wenye kusahau kwa kila tunapopanda miti ina maana yake, sio? Ni kwa benefit ya sisi binadamu.
Faida yetu.
Faida yetu kabisa. But also in that sense, they are young girls, teenage mothers, we also have to pay special attention to. And that is why today we also have another hero, Purity Gekunda, who is going to be honored today for her work in Kajiado, in the community of Kajiado, in improving the lives of teenage moms in that county. Thank you so much for joining us, Purity. Just tell us about the kind of work that you do and your experience in being honored today as a hero in this country.
Thank you so much. My name is Purity Gekunda. I'm the co-founder of Greenland Empowerment Hub, an organization that we founded with my co-founder Samuel, who is not here today for reasons that we could not avoid. But I'm very happy to be named as Shujaa today, because at Greenland what we do, we give teenage mothers a second chance to resurrect their education dreams. And the program that we learned there is dubbed Resurrecting the Dead Dreams for Teen Mothers. We enroll teenage mothers who dropped in Form 1, Form 2, Form 3, and also who did KCP but did not manage to go to Form 1. Right now we've enrolled more than 2,000 teenage mothers. So I feel so happy today and so proud that beside me being a Shujaa, this award, I'm dedicating it to the teenage mothers who have managed to resurrect their dreams and will become women of valor like you, like the governors who are coming here today. So I feel that this honor is not dedicated to Purity personally, but to those girls who, besides all odds, being mothers and with babies, they have managed to come to school and they are continuing with their education. More to that, The third cohort that we have been having, we've got very, very qualified girls who are coming back to give back to the society.
Thank you, Purity. And we're going to continue with this conversation in a moment, but we have to allow the rest of the program to continue as we also engage the other heroes we have lined up for you at this point. Let's have a listen at what is happening currently in the stadium.
Ili tuweze kupokea gwaride rasmi hapa uwanjani. Asante, tafadhali wanafunzi tutulie. Thank you. Basi wakati wowote tokea sasa tutaweza kupokea gwaride rasmi hapa uwanjani. Wananchi wazalendo ambao wameweza kuwasili kwa ajili ya hafla ya siku ya leo, wakati wowote tokea sasa tutaweza kupokea gwaride rasmi hapa uwanjani. Na hii leo tumeweza kuandalia gwaride la heshima, gwaride la vikundi na hali kadhalika tamasha kutoka kwa ndege zetu za kijeshi, tukiletewa na jeshi letu la wanaanga.
Thank you for joining us here on NTV. If you're just joining us, this is the 60th Mashujaa Day being celebrated in Mashujaa in Kwale County. And as you can see, there's a lot of pomp and color. And this is one of a kind, or rather the first of its kind of such a celebration in Kwale County. And as a matter of fact, our reporters are on the ground. We have Kevin Mutai, who is joining us from Kwale County. We have Ruth Chesenge, who is joining us from Nakuru County. We also have Lofty Matambo and Zainab Ismail, who are joining us also live from Kwale County and updating us on everything that is happening on the ground. Earlier on, Kevin Mutai had also had an opportunity to speak with the Coast Region governors, that is Kilifi Governor Gideon Mungaro, Mombasa Governor Abdul Samad Nasir, Tana River Governor Dado Godana, and Lamu County Governor Issa Timami. And as a matter of fact, Kwale Governor Fatuma Achani is the one who is going to have the honor to welcome the president to be able to give his remarks. And this, the governors say they believe this is an opportunity for the coast region and the coastal counties also to be able to, for their issues to be heard. Some of the issues that they put forward were the Madogo Junction, the road to Lamu that was once cut off, if the project can be picked up again. The other thing that they wanted is the expansion of the Malindi Airport as well as the Taita Taveta airstrip, which could be expanded. They're saying it's a possibility that they want to push for the expansion. And other key issues also that we are seeing is that this stadium is a 10,000 park capacity stadium. And as you can see, it's full to the brink. And Kenyans have turned out in large numbers, mostly within Kwale County and beyond Kwale County, just to be able to celebrate this 60th Mashujaa Day celebration in Kwale County. Kenyans are also expectant in this Mashujaa Day because they want to know regarding the cost of living, where Kenyans can be able to, at least the cost of living can be able to come down, because majority of Kenyans are saying they've been pushed to the wall. Other issues that the Kenyans are expecting the president to address is the matter of the education sector and moving forward, considering the stalemate that was earlier reached with the lecturers and the state. And other key issues as well that we are waiting as a nation to see whether President William Ruto is going to touch on matters concerning his deputy president, Rigathi Gachagua, considering this is the first of such a celebration where the president, we are not certain who is going to receive him, considering the stalemate that's going on between the impeachment that happened on Thursday in Senate of Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua and the proceeding of the National Assembly to state that Professor Kithure Kindiki is the one to take up office, is the one appointed as Deputy President designate, awaiting to be sworn in. But this awaiting to be sworn in, as a matter of fact, has stalled, and we now can see that this particular matter is in court. And if I may turn to my panelists in studio, I'm joined by Nikki Karaoke, who is a marketing consultant, and I'm also joined by Victor Wagasha, who is a finance student, my panel of Gen Z. So if you're a Gen Z and you're watching us at home, please feel free to chime into the conversation, reach to us on our social media platforms, as well as on our live stream, and just throw in your thoughts. We'll be able to read the feed after our broadcast today. So let me just start with you, Nick. We had the 5 governors from the coast region. That was Abdul Samad, Dado Godana, Issa Timami. They raised some key concerns, more so Dado Godana and Gideon Mungaro. They raised that they want the coast region, a new face of the coast region. And this is some of the projects that had stalled. They want now those particular projects to be able to be picked up. And you mentioned when we started this broadcast, you were surprised that Kwale County has such a stadium with a 10,000 capacity max. Did you think that you also said that you thought these celebrations would be done in a tent? Why would you say that?
Well, in high school, when you used to approach a visiting day, parents' day, or a clinic day, you'd find the school cleaning up the whole area, painting what needed to be painted. Everything was clean, nice, and basically well kept. All for the sake of tricking our parents into believing that we've been living well the entire time. That's the same situation I see with our government. Anytime we have an event, anytime we have an occasion whereby we have to shed light on a particular area, there's a sudden glow up of that area for the basis of facilitating that occasion or event. When in reality, as soon as everyone is gone home by the end of today, everything goes back to normal. And that's the issue, because while I have heard the leaders talk about how they would want devolution to continue, they want the roads to be fixed, I really need a day for that to stop being all talk, because this isn't the first time we've talked about this. We've had the conversation of how most of these coastal towns are really dead economically between certain periods because of lack of tourism. No one has come in to step in and give ideas on, during this stalemate in tourism, when the country doesn't have that many visitors, what can we do for the people of Kwale County and beyond? No one has really come to try and mitigate what goes on there. All we can do basically is complain. And while we, the Kenyans, are complaining, it's funny that our leaders are also complaining, yet they are the ones we've trusted to actually enforce reforms and, put our voice forward in what we would want. So while you're busy on TV telling me that you want devolution, fine, well and good. Come up with ideas, come up with action plans, because we can't have you guys acting only when all eyes are on you. Yeah.
All right. Victor, do you agree with what Nick is saying in terms of devolution? They're decrying devolution. It is working to an extent, but do you believe there's much more that it could happen in?
To an extent, yes. I do believe that devolution has been able to decentralize the counties and giving them, they can manage their own project. As much as it has its pros, such as boosting accountability to leaders, it has had so much cons, such as corruption levels being high. And we have seen like some counties that are wealthier, such counties like, Nairobi in an urban area, they're doing fairly better than, but Kwale in arid areas. You can see this is like their first stadium, So as much as it has its pros, it has, a lot of cons to it. Yeah, that's what I can say.
Let me take you back to not now this particular government, when this president was the deputy president, and the former president Uhuru Kenyatta was the president. And there was a promise to ensure that each particular county would have a certain number of stadiums, be it 5 stadiums per county. Do you think Kenyans were lied to? That was a big lie that all Kenyans bought under the devolution card.
Now that depends on the layman's definition of a lie, because anyone who made those promises at that particular time, when pushed to the book, would probably say that they meant well, they had good intentions for Kenyans, and something just happened. In this case, money not being available. Because while maybe the plans were laid out and declared a little bit ambitiously, I do believe it was quite possible. But we have leaders who can't be trusted, and that's such a shame. And you think you know someone until they show you their true colors. I like or don't like, I'm not really sure, but we got into a point where we don't like this leader. We go to this leader thinking he's going to be better. He shows us his true colors. We move to another leader. So it's disappointment after disappointment after disappointment, and it's so shocking at just how rotten our political system currently is, to the point that we can't even trust any declared project. We can't even trust any word that comes from them. We've had the quote-unquote, this guy, Morara episodes. He's been showing us how so many stalled projects, like it's not one or two. There are so many, they are so widespread. They're in every county in Kenya. It's not even localized to one particular place. The rot is just nationwide, which shows you that we can't even blame it on a particular set of leaders. The whole government in itself needs to be brought to book. Now, with that in mind, you see how shocked I was that Kwale actually had a well-functioning stadium, because in my mind, I generally thought a space would be rented out, we'd have tents and, you know, the classic red carpet and all that stuff. But the fact that I had to know about the modernity of the Kwale Stadium from a Mashujaa Day celebration brings to question what Kwale is doing every other day. Like, what are they known for? What is helping their people, the people of that community, that we don't know about? Is the government actually doing anything of importance there besides declaring that this particular occasion will boost the economy? We've heard of hotel bookings and stuff like that. So when all is said and done, is there anything else to boost the economy after? Because Mashujaa Day is just one day a year. What are we going to do the other times?
All right. So Victor, if I take it back to you, do you think that area governors, or rather county governors, only see it befitting to put forth their demands when such functions are brought to their particular regions? Because if maybe they would bring in their demands, they will table their demands, it may take a while before they get the attention or the funds that they so need to be allocated.
For starters, a common criticism we have for our government is doing things in deadline approach. By that I mean, you know, like 2 years, 3 years before elections. Actually 2 years before elections. So the thing is, I won't say they don't have the funds. They do have the funds, but the thing is they do it so last minute to get, you know, to kind of blindside us, like vote for us, we've done this. And you see this, they're not even creating quality stuff, because if you're doing it in such a hurry, 2 years just to do a whole stadium, the stadium is not going to be a quality stadium. And that's what we've seen with our government, you know. We can't even have like our own Harambee Stars play home games in Kenya. They have to go all the way to South Africa to do their home games. And, you know, to some extent, it gives them, like, you know, they don't have the home ground, you know, cheering squad, you know, they don't have the home ground, you know, effect to their play. So that's why we're getting whipped outside. But anyway, so that's my take on it.
All right. Nick, so the president is set to arrive probably in the next hour or so, thereabout. This is the first of such an event where he's not going to be received, or rather we're not certain who's going to receive him. Oftentimes the protocol has been, it's the deputy president who receives the president. Now, as a Kenyan, as a Gen Z, how does this leave you? How does this make you feel, knowing that we're, yes, celebrating Mashujaa Day, but the political state of our nation is in turmoil?
The one thing you come to learn about this government, the presidency and all his officers under him, I think our country has a huge obsession with image control. So with that in mind, I do expect more or less a performance of a lifetime, because he knows, the president in this scenario, he knows that he doesn't currently have a sitting deputy. He knows the protocol for such occasions. So whatever is decided in the long run on how he will be received, how he's going to arrive to the occasion, he brought upon himself. However, he does have a track record of containing situations, so I am genuinely interested to see what will work out of this. I don't know what he's gonna pull, but let's just hope he doesn't do anything rash.
I saw air quotations there. What was that about? But before then, both of you were very vocal in and participated in this year's protests in the month of June, the Gen Z protests. And part of the chants in this year's protest was hashtag Ruto must go. And now one of them is the one who's on his way out. Why was this? Is this a big change? Is this one of the changes that you are advocating for as Gen Z, or is there much more that you're trying to push for?
Here's the thing. Apart from that movement, there's a Kufa Dereva, Kufa Makanga narrative. Now, the reason we had that in mind was because there is no one operating without the other. For them pretending to be fighting in public, knowing that both of their decisions they made in consultation with one another, it's kind of, sorry to say, an insult to Kenyans' intelligence, because we know you talk to each other, we know you make these decisions together. So pretending to fight in public that you didn't know he was doing XYZ or he didn't know you were doing XYZ, it's kind of laughable to some extent. And the fact that the charges brought up against I guess, former Deputy President Gachagua, the charges brought against him are enough, if you were to deeply look at them, would be enough to implicate the president himself if anyone actually went down that route. Why I say if anyone actually went down that route, because as we've seen, people are either being bought or intimidated into compliance. So with that in mind, it paints a really grim picture of what Kenya's political future looks like.
Okay. All right. I've been told we have Stephen Keter, our reporter from Eldoret, who's on the ground. Keter, how is Mashujaa Day looking like in Eldoret, and more so Eldoret being the home of athletics? Give us more.
Thank you so much, Helen. Remember, this has been an Olympic year, and just like they have done before, our sports people flew the Kenyan flag at the biggest sports extravaganza, this time at the French capital of Paris. 4 is the number of times the Kenyan national anthem was sung in Paris, meaning the Kenyan athletes or the Kenyan sports people won a total of 4 gold medals. But before then, let's go back to 1964, just when Kenya was in the process of attaining a self-rule. This was the year Kenya won its first Olympic medal, this time at the Tokyo Olympics, where Wilson Kiprugut Chumo won a bronze medal at in the 800 meters event. In the 1968 Olympics, Kenya won 3 gold medals. This was the first time Kenya won gold medals. And currently I'm standing at a stadium named after one of the persons, an icon who won a gold medal in the 1968 Mexico City Olympics, Hezekiah Kipchoge Keino, a legend who won an Olympic medal. And now I am talking to a fan, an athletics fan, someone who has been following athletics for a very long time. She's a Kenyan diaspora. I've seen her follow athletes, maybe at World Championships, Diamond Leagues, marathons. And I just want to get a perspective this time from a person who has been watching athletes from our sidelines. Do you think that these legends, this icon, our biggest ambassadors, do they get the respect they deserve?
Thank you, Steve, for this opportunity. Today is Mashujaa Day, and I would like to first of all give all the honor and congratulations to all Kenyan athletes, because you guys are our heroes. And do they deserve the respect and recognition? I think as Kenyans, we can do better in supporting the athletes. They definitely don't get the respect and the recognition they deserve. And I believe we have so much room for improvement. not only as Athletics Kenya, but also as the people of Kenya. Let's cheer our athletes. Let's watch them. Let's support them. If they're in diaspora, come out and support the Kenyans and help them and support them in any way you can. Thank you.
And maybe as a person who has traveled wide, do you think that maybe the Kenyan, maybe in terms of the government support, do you think the Kenyan sport people get the support they deserve?
Okay, my comments on the government, I believe that the government of Kenya can do so much better in supporting these athletes in order for them to continue achieving their goals and success, which makes Kenya proud. Right now, we are standing at Kipchoge Keino Stadium here in Eldoret. And if you come here, the stadium is not at best. And therefore, as they are preparing for LA 2028, let's fix this stadium so that the athletes can have a better place for training. And this will bring more glory to Kenya, and we can bring all the glory we've lost along the way. So, yeah.
And we have seen that maybe for the past few years, the government has tried to come up with measures, maybe motivational measures. They have said that now gold medal is 3 million. World record is 5 million. Do you think this maybe it's a step to the right direction, or we are still way behind?
The fact that they are recognizing the athletes baby steps, step by step, again, we can do so much better in making sure we provide an environment that is conducive for them to train. And of course, let's continue motivating them. And even as a regular Kenyan, when you meet these champions on the road, in shopping centers, take a moment to tell them thank you for representing our country and making Kenya proud.
And what do you think that maybe as a people we should do that so that we make sure that we don't lose this heritage? Because we have, maybe for the past like 10 years, people get a feeling that we are losing the events like the 3,000 meter steeplechase, the events that we used to do so well. Like we are losing that momentum. What do you think we should do as a whole fraternity? Everyone has a role to play in this. What do you think that everyone should do so that we make sure that we don't lose this heritage of athletics?
Number one, Athletics Kenya and the government can ensure athletes have a good training ground, which is like the stadium. We can complete this stadium, and this will encourage athletes to come out and train more. Number two, for the athletes, I know I have interacted with a lot of you. Discipline, hard work, focus, and talent is what is going to continue to push you guys to maintain the status, the glory that we've always had. Like the steeplechase, we're getting back. I see the Serem brothers coming out. So, Kinakibi what? Let's protect our gold medals and all the glory we've had all these years.
And maybe in terms of, you have spoke so elaborately about the facilities, but as a person who maybe have seen, you have been in the US, I understand, for some years, maybe you could tell us maybe the difference about the sporting facilities there, maybe the proximity to the athletes and the quality. And what you have witnessed here in Kenya, we just bump into you, you are just coming to do jogging. How is it in the US and here?
To be honest, US is a first world country, and they've ensured that they have, again, proper, better training facilities and grounds. And I think in Kenya, one of the biggest challenges we are facing right now is inadequate training facilities, and majorly the stadiums. If the government and Athletics Kenya can collaborate and make sure that all the stadiums across the country are completed, I think in LA 2028, all the athletes in Kenya are going to bag so many medals, and that will bring so much glory back to Kenya. Yeah.
And in terms maybe of corporate support, or because we have seen maybe in other countries, sports is very commercial. It doesn't really depend on the government support, the government handouts. Maybe what is your call to the corporates in Kenya in terms of maybe supporting these talents in terms of sponsorship deals and so forth?
Now, in terms of corporates, I have actually seen corporates like Kenya Airways, Sifao, they are coming out massively to support athletes. I would also like to encourage athletes, don't be afraid to reach out to these corporates for support, because you're already a champion, you're already a hero for Kenya. So step out of your comfort zone and reach out to these corporates for support so that they can motivate and encourage you in your training status.
Thank you so much. Those are just the sentiments of an athletics fan and a sports fan, someone who has been watching and following from the sidelines. Just in a nutshell, she has said that the sports legends, the sports people, they are our biggest ambassadors, deserve so much more for what they have done for this country. And maybe we should start doing more for them. Back to you, Ellen.
Thank you, Keter, for that. And that is actually something, food for thought, that we all need to think about. And just picking up on our conversation here in studio, Victor, we left off when Nick was telling us that we never know what awaits us when the president could walk in and who will be able to receive him. Some are saying it could be Professor Kithure Kindiki who will actually be receiving him in the capacity that he holds at the moment. But moving on to, you were part of the protests this year, and what was it exactly that made you go to the streets and said, you know what, your voice matters and you need to be able to address some of the issues that are really ailing our country?
Okay. So for the protest, I went to the protest to be able to air my voice and my frustrations for the government. We have seen these raging issues from, the high cost of living to corruption to unemployment. You've seen so many youth saying, we're not employed, we're not employed, we're not employed. It's been a whole tale for the whole year. And we have seen, so why I went to the protest was to raise out these frustrations, hoping for a better change, hoping the government can hear our voices and, have a change in plan, at least for the youth. So this is why I went for the protest. But as much as it was tear gas the first days, tear gas the second days, when I started having live bullets, I just had to say, well, okay, you guys have won this time, but we really hope that there's going to be change of our leadership, that they're going to listen to the youth more, and and also my takes about the protests.
Okay. Nick, Victor mentioned about the use of live bullets during the Gen Z protests. At the time, Professor Kithure Kindiki was and still is the CS for Interior up until maybe he's confirmed as the Deputy President, if that would be the case. And when he was CS Interior, remember before the grilling, he said that he was not aware of the number of people, he was not aware and he did not command any abductions, the number of Gen Zs who were killed during the protests. As a matter of fact, it's as though to say, Kenyans were crying wolf in this whole situation. This is the same person who, if approved and if the court process ruled against Gachagua and now in his favor, this will mean Professor Kithure Kindiki will be the Deputy President. So are we going to have a Deputy President who is not well aware and not able enough to be able even to defend the voices of the young people in this country? Do you think that will be the case?
Well, it's one of two options. We're either going to have a deputy president who cannot defend the rights of his fellow Kenyans or who does not want to. And whether or not it's one of those two choices will depend on, basically what he decides to do once he's either in or out of office, depending on whether the court upholds and whether it actually goes through, because as you've seen, the amount of shortcuts the constitutional process is taking through us right now, it's way too much.
Let me interrupt you just there. As we can see on our screens, that is the presidential motorcade. President William Ruto has arrived in Kwale County. He arrived in Kwale County today morning and was received by Professor Kithure Kindiki. And this is his motorcade as he's making way to the stadium ahead of the opening of the ceremony of the Mashujaa Day. And as you can see, that is the V formation, the diamond formation, or rather that's being formed out there to be able to receive him. And he's making his way into the stadium. He's saying hello to the people in his Land Cruiser. And as you can see, his escort is there behind him to ensure that all security is tight as he makes his way out of his vehicle to be able now to ensure that he proceeds next to doing to the guard of honor. We are all waiting to see who is going to receive President William Ruto also at Kwale Stadium, considering it was Professor Kithure Kindiki who received him when he arrived in Kwale County. So we are waiting to see which other dignitaries and who, as per se, will be able to take up that particular position for the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua to be able to receive him into the stadium. And as you can see, we have Musalia Mudavadi, Cabinet Affairs, as well as Kwale Governor on standby as well to be able to receive him. They are all on standby. We have the Guard of Honor as well on standby to be able to receive the President, and other dignitaries as well are on standby to be able to receive the President as well. And security is tight to the core in Kwale Stadium. Everyone is on standby to be able to receive him. Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi is on standby, and Kwale Governor Fatma Achani are on standby to be able to receive President William Ruto. And as per now, those are the faces that we are seeing on the front line who are set to receive President William Ruto. There is his motorcade as he is now, his vehicle is stopping as he's now set to exit his vehicle anytime from now. Security is on standby and on guard to ensure that everything is set before they open the door so that the President, that is Mama Rachel Ruto, looking lovely as she says her pleasantries to Musalia Mudavadi and Governor Fatuma Achani, and makes her way up the presidential dais with her security as well. Next, we are also expecting to see President William Ruto anytime from now. Anytime from now, he's expected at the stadium anytime from now. But as you can see, the Guard of Honor is on standby, and the colors, the trooping, everything is on standby. That President will be able to ensure that he can be able to inspect the Guard of Honor ahead of the opening of the Mashujaa Day ceremony. But before we go over there, let's pick up our conversation, gentlemen. When you happened to say that we are not certain of the qualifications of the next deputy president that we have, as we wait for, I'm informed the president is now in. There is the president, William Ruto. Let us now listen into the event in Kwale County.
Kenya, Kenya, taifa letu Kenya, Kenya,
Karibu.
Kenya nchi yetu Kenya,
Mheshimiwa Rais,
Kenya taifa letu,
utuongoze kwa sherehe ya Mashujaa
Kenya nchi yetu,
eneo gatuzi la Kwale. Wapi makofi wananchi watukufu, peperusha bendera. Karibu Mheshimiwa Rais, utuongoze kwa sherehe ya leo.
Kenya, Kenya taifa letu Kenya,
Karibu
Kenya nchi yetu,
Mheshimiwa Rais,
Kenya, Kenya taifa letu,
sherehe ya Mashujaa.
Kenya, Kenya nchi yetu.
Wapi shangwe na vigelegele kwa Mheshimiwa Rais. Moja, mbili, karibu Mheshimiwa Rais, utuongoze kwa sherehe ya leo. Moja, karibu Mheshimiwa Rais. Wanafunzi, peperusha bendera. Wapi shangwe na vigelegele kwa Mheshimiwa Rais. Karibu Mheshimiwa Rais, utuongoze kwa sherehe ya leo. Boma langu, nyumba yangu, ni shujaa. Karibu Mheshimiwa Rais, eneo gatuzi la Kwale, katika sherehe ya mashujaa. Tuendelee kumkaribisha Mheshimiwa Rais kwa makofi, mabibi na mabwana, anapojiunga nasi katika eneo gatuzi la Kwale, sherehe ya mashujaa. Karibu Mheshimiwa Rais, utuongoze kwa sherehe ya leo. Moja. Karibu Mheshimiwa Rais, utuongoze kwa sherehe ya mashujaa. Wapi shangwe na vigelegele, wanafunzi peperusha bendera. Hongera mashujaa wetu. Mkiwa mkono wa kulia wa jukwaa, tumsalimie Mheshimiwa Rais mashujaa wetu kwa furaha. Mashujaa hoye! Karibu Mheshimiwa Rais. Mashujaa kwa shangwe tumsalimu Mheshimiwa Rais anapojiunga nasi katika sherehe ya mashujaa eneo gatuzi la Kwale. Karibu Mheshimiwa Rais, utuongoze kwa sherehe ya leo. Kauli mbiu, boma yangu, nyumba yangu, mimi ni shujaa.
Asante sana Maroon. Asante sana Maroon Commandos. Niombe tubaki tukiwa tumesimama kwa wimbo wa taifa na wimbo wa Jumuiya ya Afrika Mashariki. Kenya ni mkuu wa majeshi ya ulinzi ya Kenya, Jenerali Charles Mureu Kahariri. Bendera ya kikosi hupewa heshima ya hadhi ya juu, unavyoshuhudia Mheshimiwa Rais akipeana heshima zake kwa bendera ya jeshi la wanamaji. Ameshakabidhiwa idhini ya kuweza kuendelea na gwaridi. Punde tu Mheshimiwa Rais atachukua nafasi yake rasmi kwenye jukwaa maalum. Sharti bendera ya kikosi kuwa mbele ya gwaride. Unavyoshuhudia hivi sasa kutoka kwake Kala Ofsa pamoja na Parade RSM wakichukua nafasi zao rasmi. To your duties by the left, quick march. Wanajeshi hawa wanaondoka hivi sasa uwanjani baada ya kuandaa gwaride la kufana siku ya leo, kupata kujiunga na wenzao, kuzidi kudumisha ulinzi wa taifa letu la Kenya, kuhakikisha kwamba fuo za bahari